To me is creating a government and an economy and a society which works for all rather than just the top 1%. It means ending the absurd inequalities that exist today.
And they say, well, actually, we really mean Sweden. And I often ask myself if they've ever been to Sweden, because if you go to Sweden today, you'll see a vibrant, dynamic, free market economy with a fully functioning democracy.
A just society, a loving society, is one that guarantees health care to all people.
On one point, socialists have been consistent, however. The focus of their efforts is on the redistribution of wealth, not its creation. Young, tech-savvy democratic socialists like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez argue that we now live in a world of such abundance that all we have to do is get the sharing part right.
Because now we are approaching infinite resources. And how do you, capitalism is based on scarcity. And what happens when there is enough for everyone to eat? What happens when there is enough for everyone to be clothed?
The democratic socialists, I guess, are repackaging socialism to try to present it to the American people, especially young people, as some kind of idea that might work if they just get the details correct, or if they just have the right central planners or the right bureaucrats or the right policymakers or the right politicians.
We will make public colleges and universities tuition-free and cancel all student debt.
Socialism destroys nations, but always remember freedom unifies the soul.
And so a debate that many thought was over starts again.
Joseph Schumpeter, who was one of the great 20th century thinkers on this subject, had a great answer to the question, why does socialism keep on coming back? His answer was this, that there are three things that allow socialism to make these comebacks. The first is that there will always be people whose lives are disrupted as the process of economic innovation takes place, and that will be a constituency for socialism. Then he said academics will always be attracted to socialism. It's because few institutions are more insulated from the market and from economic reality than universities. And finally, he said, there will always be a state bureaucracy of people who want to increase the scope of the bureaucracy. So Schumpeter argued that even although socialism was bound to fail wherever it was tried, and I'm afraid that's why it keeps on coming back just when you think, like Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction, it's dead.
That's our program. I hope you're now ready to check out all of the unauthorized history of socialism on Fox Nation. There, you can also stream other programs I've done for Fox News, from politics to profiles to my 3 Days History series about pivotal moments in the presidencies of FDR, Eisenhower, and Reagan. For Fox Nation and Fox News, thanks for watching. 3 Days History series about...
To tidy what he just got through saying up, in my opinion, about socialism, is whenever the wealthy and the rich understand what type of creation that they have created to the point that they're willing to give in to their own personal profits to benefit those that are below them. In order for that to happen, you would be basically asking for a miracle, even beyond a miracle. Because Jesus emphasized very, very clearly about those who have powerful positions that seek nothing more than the entertainment of wealth for themselves. Christ said, "He who shall gain the whole world if it was possible, but still loses soul, what has he gained? He or she has gained nothing. Because inevitably, the most powerful thing and the most essential thing, according to biblical Bible spiritual leaders, is in fact your soul. And if you have lost your relationship with your Maker on account of that, then according to the Bible, it would have been best if you had never been born. That a millstone was tied around your neck and that you was thrown off into the ocean. So the type of socialism that they're requiring here isn't going to happen. And I'm not going to say that Bill Gates and some of the most powerful people in the world aren't willing to give part of the piece of the pie away to help society, but to think that they're going to break it down on an equal level and give the majority away, it's a fantasy. It's not going to happen. So you may be asking, so what do we do? What do we do as a society? Well, you break it down into fairness, and you realize that everybody has to pull their load. And it doesn't matter who they are, where they are, they have to be willing to pull their load. Nobody gets a free ride in the system that they want to create. But at the same time, in creating this system, you make it balanced out more so as far as universal health care. Everybody is guaranteed that once you reach that level of security, you know that you're going to be treated as an equal on certain elements. You're going to be able to go to the hospital if you have to. You're going to be guaranteed some sort of funeral, depending upon what you want. Is it communism or socialism versus libertism? I guess it's a matter of not what you're looking at, but how that you're looking at it to be able to categorize it in that way. Whenever we have a society like has been created, not just here in America, but over in Europe and places like that, to where you only have the 1%ers versus the 99%ers, and there's such of a gulf in between them and us, is whenever you have a conflicting society that eventually will merge into each other, similar towards what we have seen this past Wednesday up in the White House, where you have so many people that are hurting, that have fell through the cracks, and because of it, they're willing to flex their muscles in doing stuff even at the point of it being totally illegal. Now you have a hemorrhaging society that is trying to crumble right below everybody's feet. We must stop and evaluate not just what Donald Trump has inevitably done towards showing his true colors, and how that he was willing to start a fiasco right in front of our very eyes, to the point of not being a terrorist, but even worse than a terrorist, because a terrorist is somebody that supports a national group from another body that's willing to attack its own people. Donald Trump has done something worse than a terrorist. He has fumigated an enemy within his own people towards trying to create a coup over the will of the people that has made a vote. What Donald Trump has done is unacceptable in most any society unless it was a true banana republic. Everything that Donald Trump has done up until now on various issues, regardless whether it was with reforming the prison systems or helping out veterans towards allowing for them to be able to choose their own doctors, or the deal with the immigrants pertaining to these cities that take care of illegals, the way that places, especially out in California, have been noted of doing. Everything that Donald Trump has done has now backfired. That has become undone. And now people will remember the latter stance versus all the other good behavior, because now the bad outweighs the good. That's what we as an American society cannot allow for anybody to come in and dictate and dominate and try to tell us how to manage our own affairs. We must create a more fair, equal system for the poorest of the poor up to the richest of the rich. And if we're not willing to do it voluntarily,